Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Christopher, and we're here today to talk about the Cloudrock. These are the shoes that I recently took with me on a trip to Yosemite in California, and I want to talk about my experience with these shoes. So first off, if you haven't watched my overview on these shoes, I'm going to go ahead and encourage you to go and click on the link in the description below to check that out. Now, when we look at these shoes, there's a couple things I want to make clear up front. I am looking for a premium comfort shoe. I am not necessarily looking for a shoe that's going to last 10 years. In fact, that's not a priority of mine at all. So if that is your priority, there may be other shoes, other hiking shoes that are going to be more for you. This is really in that space of not trail running shoes, but trail cushioned shoes. And so with that in mind, let's go ahead and say that this has only been in use since really April or May of this year, and I don't have a full year with them, let alone a multi-year review to give you. All I can tell you is my experiences that I had over the last few hiking trips that I've done in comparison to shoes that I have used before in the past. So first things first, these are durable. They're very durable, they are waterproof. I find they're extremely comfortable. Some hiking shoes are not so good when you're walking in them because they're stiff and they don't have enough give. And in many cases, because of that stiffness and because they don't really bend well, sometimes they kind of come loose or your ankle can come out of it. I can happily report that did not happen with the Cloudrock. Mine were very much cupped in place and I felt very comfortable on my hike. I wore different style socks, both thin and thick, and they felt good either way. Let's talk about the tread a little bit. When you look at the tread of this shoe, it's a pretty reasonable tread. It's got your CloudTec, and so it's using this incredible foam to give it that all-day cushion, as well as the tread for light scrambling and, of course, walking on stone or rock, cement, or tar, gravel, clay, or sand. These I got to experience all of them at Yosemite National Park, and they held up extremely well. I will tell you that anecdotally, without using gaiters, you are gonna let in water into the shoe as well as dirt and other particulates. But if you use gaiters, I have found that these are incredibly comfortable with gaiters to make sure that you're not getting materials in it. So I've worn them without gaiters and I've worn them with gaiters and they worked well. And there's this nice little section here that you can actually wrap your gaiters around and be able to kind of hold them in place, and it's very comfortable. My only criticism when it comes to the look and feel of the shoe, or more for the function of the shoe, not just look and feel, the feel's fine. The function of the shoe is the laces. I did have to retie these on several occasions on my hikes while I was going up Sentinel Dome as well as the John Muir Trail. But having said that, there may be some accessories or things that I don't know about that might be out there. If you have an idea, let me know in the comments below what I should be using to keep these more secure. Short of having a different mechanism or maybe a little bit more ability to strap these in or lace them a little bit differently to be held in place, I think maybe this is a small critique and criticism. Now, would I recommend these? 100%. I was walking in these roughly 8 to 10 hours a day, and I felt good all day long. It was extremely hot, but I felt like they were very breathable. My feet did not sweat a lot, so they had enough breathability in spite of the fact that they are waterproof shoes and worked really, really well. I did walk near a few streams and had to cross a couple puddles and found that my feet didn't get wet, and I think that's largely due in part to their really tall nature and this rubber material, as well as, again, the very rugged waterproof material that kept that water from getting in. So happy to report these are fantastic for that. Additionally, I would also call these are not running shoes. I did a review when I went to Banff on some trail running shoes that had really great grip, but those were aimed to be running shoes specifically. These are hiking shoes first and foremost. Anyway, I had a great experience with these shoes. I am going to be taking them with me to Yellowstone, as well as using them on the 20+ hiking trips that I have planned to prep for Kilimanjaro. They do have a high top version of this. I've not had a chance to buy those and review them. If you want to see a review about those, let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely considering either the low top version or the high top version for Kilimanjaro, as I may replace my shoes prior to that trip just to make sure that my foam is in the best possible condition. If you don't know, you should replace your running shoes roughly every 6 months or so many hundred miles, just because the foam gets stiffer over time and the bubbles that are in there starts to close in. So I'm not terribly worried about that with these shoes, but I may end up replacing them right before that trip and do a few practice trails to wear them in. Anyway, if you enjoy this review and if this helps you, let me know. This is not sponsored by On, but I'll definitely leave a link to these if you want to go purchase them directly from On or from your local retailer. If you like this content, do me a favor, click that like button and crush that subscribe button. And of course, ring the notification bell to stay up to date with everything we're producing. As always, we hope you're doing well, we hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you in the next one.